What is up, guys? It is LSU Recruiting HQ. We are here to you on a beautiful, not necessarily beautiful. It's a little rainy around here, in the Charleston area today, but it is December 9th, 2022, and we are bringing you a jam-packed show today. We got a lot to talk about, a lot of transfer news, a lot of people coming in, going out, recruiting. Early signing day is coming up in just a couple weeks, man. Brian Kelly and the staff are getting things going, but we got to talk about one thing first, and that is, if you guys haven't already, I need you guys to take the time and please subscribe to the channel. All right, support your boy. All right, who does this for the love of college football and the love of LSU, and to bring you guys the content that you guys need. You know, everybody likes the breakdowns and the very more intelligent people than me, right? But I'm here as a fan. You know, I'm just giving you my opinion. I'm not breaking things down. I'm not giving you I'm not breaking news, doing stuff like that, man. I'm just like, it's just like if me and you were talking at the job site and breaking down last night's game and all that kind of good stuff. And that's the kind of vibes that we're trying to build here. This is for the fans, by the fans, kind of mentality here. So if you guys haven't already, man, please, it is completely free. Please subscribe to the channel and support me. And I will do my best to continue to get this content out here for you guys. So as you can see today, man, we went crazy basic, plain white t-shirt, but listen, we're rocking the hat again. 2 weeks in a row, we're rocking the new hat. The vibes were good last week. Everybody, was wanting to know where it came from. I can't tell you guys that because it's an industry secret. My sponsorships, I can't just be giving my stuff away like that. That's how it works around here at the HQ. But yeah, man, we got a jam-packed show today. Like I said, transfer news, everything breaking down. Obviously, last time we seen you guys, it was LSU versus Georgia for the SEC championship game. We broke it down, kind of gave a feeling of LSU could possibly win, and that didn't go well at all. So they lose, by 20 plus points, and it was just a mess from the beginning, from the kickoff. But one thing, and man, I said this on Twitter, and I'm gonna say it again here if you're still watching. If you are an LSU fan and you are bashing the way this team finished out the season, obviously nobody is happy about how the season finished. When you lose games to A&M and then you lose the SEC championship game. But that being said, what LSU and Brian Kelly accomplished this year was nothing short of spectacular. In year one, changing the culture, really starting to see the buy-in from the players, and just the whole process is better. It feels more control oriented, and it feels like it has a lot more structure, and I think that is going to benefit LSU in the long run. And I have nothing but praise for what this team, the guys on this team have been here for a long time, or they're brand new transfers, all came together to accomplish a goal that not many people thought were possible in September, of winning the SEC West. And if Brian Kelly's winning the SEC West in year one under this team, this is probably going to be the least talented roster that he's ever going to have at LSU. So you have that to look forward to, and I can't wait already, for the bowl game and then the start of the what some people will call the off season, but there is no such thing as an off season around here. LSU football is 24/7, 365, and we'll be right into August, fall camp, September, before you know it, breaking down next year's team, and I'm super excited about that. So guys, as you guys know, man, the transfer portal is buzzing, man. It is the first year where they've set the 45-day guideline where you have to be in by this date, and you have to be, and you can't enter after that date. So a lot of you guys heard, obviously, the humongous news this week. If you've been living under a rock, or you're just late to give the news like me, that Kayshon Boutte is coming back for his senior season. Now, we can argue about why and how all this transpired, but um if you are one of those people who is like, oh well, he didn't have that great a year, well, you know what, that's why he's coming back. You know what, because he has a point to prove. He was a first round graded receiver, um and there were people saying that he was dropping all the way to around the third round. So why would you not come back? That's a from the 15th pick in the first round to the first pick in the third round. There's probably over a $10 million difference between that and being a first round draft pick. So why would you not come back? But it just is a testament to the buy-in of the Brian Kelly era, because if things weren't going well, if this was the old regime, he would have went anyway, but he feels like he's making a better decision for himself, and he feels like he can improve and work on things he needs to get better at. He had the problems at the beginning of the season where everybody thought it was an attitude and he wasn't locked in, and maybe some of that is true, but then again, you got to realize that a player with that kind of caliber talent coming back to your roster is a absolute blessing, and it does not happen all the time. So I am very excited to see what number 7 is going to do next year. Super excited to see what that receiving room, and once we find out this quarterback situation, whether Jaden's leaving, going to the draft, or Nussmeier's staying, or Nussmeier's leaving, or so and so on. Once they get all that settled out, man, this offense is going to look like it's going to be a well-oiled machine next year, depending on who stays and who goes. The other big news of the week, obviously, when you gain players, you also lose players. So Monday, Keishon Butte announces that he is out, or he's coming back for his senior year. And then, hours later, Jack Besh goes on Twitter and says that he is entering his name in the transfer portal. And, man, it is a really unfortunate thing. Obviously, Jack Besh is a superstar player. A Louisiana high school legend, man. He just tore up teams around here, around Louisiana, and he was going to be a star at LSU. But, man, when you have the talent you have in that receiving room, man, it's hard to get on the field. And he caught some bad breaks at the beginning of the year. He had the shin splints, and then he was also out with a concussion for majority of fall camp. So you lose the reps, right? You lose your spot in line. And then you have to work your way back up the totem pole again. And he just kind of, at the end of the season, got back in there. But, he is the caliber player that needs to get more reps anyway. And I am super excited to see where he lands. And I hope he has an amazing career from here on out. And he will always be one of LSU favorite players. The best I'm from Louisiana shirts. He marketed that to a T. And he did a tremendous job with that. Also running down, the cornerback depth is running thin right now. You just had Mekhi Gardner declare for the draft. You just had Jay Ward declare for the draft. You also lose Demarius McGee and Raydarius Jones. So that's 4 corners. You're also gonna end up losing Jared Bernard Converse. So you're talking about having a same situation as you did last year, where you're going to have to replace basically your whole secondary. And now we're still waiting to hear on guys like Greg Brooks and people like that. But, Joe Fouché is gone. And like I said, everybody I just mentioned is gone as well. So this is going to be another big transfer portal year. And hopefully LSU can go get a guy like Desmond Ricks or somebody like that from the high school ranks that can step in and come in and be a starter day one, and kind of build that foundation for the DB room. Another guy transferring is Cole Taylor, tight end. Everybody obviously knows him from the shoe game, Florida 2020. And what an amazing moment that was. It was his shoe that was chucked down the field, 15-yard penalty, and the rest is history when it comes to that. But so you lose the tight end there, but you still have Mason Smith, and you have a guy like Mike Markaway coming in as a freshman. Not too concerned. They do have an offer out as of right now to the kid from Shorter University, a little small school. and so a D2 school graduate transfer. Um, he currently has double digit offers out of the portal right now. So that's a name to keep an eye out for if you want to look for that. Kyle Morlock, tight end, Shorter University. Um, Desmond Little, Colby Fields, Philip Webb, Anthony Sanford and Philip Webb have been in the portal for a long time. They didn't just enter; they've been in that thing for a while now. Before the season, they weren't even on the roster in the fall. But Kobe Fields was at South Carolina, transferred to LSU, and now is transferring back out again. Desmond Little just couldn't get on the field enough. An edge rusher guy, Alabama native. He is going to be a solid player for somebody to pick up. He just, you get lost in that rotation of edge rushers, and he just never was able to get healthy and do all that kind of stuff that he needed to do to get on the field. Uh, but man, let's talk. So what I want to talk about now, I want to talk about this recruiting, man, because the recruiting season, it kind of takes a lull right after the season. Um, but man, LSU is going out in full force this week. Obviously, with the SEC championship game, they're kind of a week behind the recruiting thing, as far as like the in-home stuff and visiting prospects. But man, they hit it hard this week. Uh, uh, JV and Taviano, Brian Kelly was there yesterday to go meet with him. That is a huge guy that LSU has to get to continue to rebuild this secondary. You have got to start you have got to start doing stuff as far as filling the back end of your defense out, because things are things are starting to trend in another direction where you don't want them to go again, right? You want to have that stability back there, and you want to be able to, just pick and choose guys maybe from the portal or high school ranks to kind of just fill gaps. But you want to have that solid foundation. LSU has not built that solid foundation yet. Um, that's why you need guys like Desmond Ricks and Javian Taviano to come aboard and maybe make an impact day one. You got guys like Derek Davis, who played running back a little bit this year but came in as a safety. You really want guys like that to start stepping up. I mean, he was a highly touted player, top 90 player in the country at one point. So it wasn't like he was a slouch, 3-star that came in and kind of got lost on the depth chart. He was this highly touted guy. Came in and just never made it as a safety. They moved him to running back. So we'll see how that all works out with the depth issues on the defense. That's got to be, your biggest concern. I know everybody, sees all the big names going on the portal that LSU should get him. But, if you listen to Brian Kelly, if it's not a fit, they're not taking him. And the biggest thing I've been hearing is like the guys with who have the character issues, right? Or maybe have gotten in trouble at their previous school or gotten into some trouble at some point. I promise you this, that Brian Kelly is not taking a guy who does not fit the process that he is building at LSU. This is not we're going to take everybody open for business mentality. He is going to go through and evaluate them and meet them and talk to them face to face and make sure that they understand that they are going to be part of the process. It's not going to be about them. It's going to be about the process on how to get LSU back to graduating champions, as he always says. And that is probably the most exciting thing, is that the transfers that are going to be bringing are going to be guys that are completely bought in already to the system. Same thing with recruiting. I expect them to take about 26 to 27 high school guys this year. And then, the transfer portal is a little tricky because, I don't think it's going to be a replace every single person, like one leaves, one comes in type thing. I think he's just going to evaluate the positions that he needs. Obviously, cornerback is one of those, and he is going to do a deep, in-depth evaluation of the talent in the portal, and he is going to go get guys that fit the system and that can come in and play immediately. And I'm looking forward to seeing who those guys are. Obviously, we're only in the first week of this thing, so guys are, possibly today even can, go into the portal. You might lose more kids to the draft, and then you might end up starting to see some of these guys starting to find where they're going. We're kind of past the point of seeing who's going in. We're trying to see who's coming out and landing at whatever schools they're going to. Um, that being said, man, we're gonna call it a day on that one. I appreciate you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys have a great rest of your weekend, and I will see you guys next week.